the metaverse can mean a great number of things to a lot of people. But what we're going to talk about today is what it means to um, creators, and what it means to people creating components or worlds or entire metaverse or metavi, as it were, to see about what's really happening. So we have Corey. What's your last name again? Corey Argenbright from Vestraverse. He gave an incredible presentation on Monday during pitch night, and we all appreciated that. It was really great. And we have Garnett Campbell for Mofo Coats. Come on. So, gentlemen, please sit down. We're going to talk about Metaverse. We're going to talk about questions any of you may have about the Metaverse, where it's going.
Carlos, we have Carlos here. Just arrived, made it through the traffic. Welcome, Carlos.
Carlos, we got stairs over here. We brought these in for you.
And just to introduce Carlos a little bit, I met Carlos first time we meet him in person, many times in VR. But Carlos is one of the hardest working guys in VR who actually earns a living filming inside of VR. He's worked in probably more than 10 of the different types of VR platforms, but he has an audio-visual team, much like the guys back here who are filming this event. Carlos manages a virtual team like this that would operate inside of the various VR worlds. So I thought his conversation would be great.
No, first of all, it's all a great conversation. I mean, I think what this is all about is we're learning here together. We're learning about all this other. So, Carlos, welcome. Genuinely. Huh?
Carlos Austin.
Carlos Austin. There we go.
And he's from Austin.
All right. So the first question is for you, Corey, because you're building, you've built. You're building a metaverse.
Yes.
And as you look at what that metaverse can be, I mean, it means so many things to so many people. So let's just start off with all the things that people worry about. Like, what are the things that you worry about as you present this metaverse to the world? I mean, we're talking, it's going to go on computers, it's going to be in homes. What are the things that you're thinking about as you build it and as you go?
Absolutely. So we took the inspiration for our metaverse project, Vestraverse, from the book and the movie Ready Player One. So it's really a giant MMO game that is being built that other projects will go into. So when we look at this from a UI UX perspective, right? What is the user going to experience while they're in there? And the first thing that my team all thinks about is the safety of the user. Over the past few months, and even today in some of the other panels, we've heard people talk about assaults or seen assaults of some sort in some of the metaverses that are out there, and that's a problem. We all know, that's why the FBI has a whole task force on it, that there are online predators out there. And we know children are going to come to this. People under the age of 18 are going to come to these metaverses. So we're really looking at safety of the user as a primary concern. Yes, the game is important, the platform is important, the projects that come in are important, but none of it means anything if you don't have users that feel safe and comfortable coming into the world and interacting in this global community that's being built through these metaverses.
That we appreciate, because this is something that people worry about. This is probably one of the first check boxes to get the good housekeeping seal of approval, but also that people worry about, because you can now get to these metaverse frameworks through any device, almost many devices. So it's not like you can be in front of your child every place you can go, every place. So this is good that you're thinking about that. So Garnett, Carlos, so as in the metaverse world, as you're doing things that we would see here, filming and shooting inside the metaverse. What really, what are you seeing that is so different from working inside the metaverse than maybe outside the metaverse? And what are you able to achieve? What are you able to see? What are some of those things that are really make it so uniquely you're doing like this human real life thing inside the metaverse? And just kind of talk about how that happens and how that works.
Com check. Okay, good. First of all, good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to Austin, Texas. 100-degree weather. Woo, yeah. Thank God for air conditioning. So I entered the so-called metaverse in October of 2017. I'm third-generation photographer, and I worked in Los Angeles in the film and video industry for a number of years. So my gray hair tells you, and my wrinkles tell you that I'm an older gentleman. Therefore, I had to find a niche that would allow me to continue doing what I do in my professional life. And that is where I started doing what I call VR filmmaking. Very, very new. And I make a point to go to all the platforms that I possibly can so that I'm familiar with the tools that are available in there for capture. So coming back to your question.
The question is like, so you evolved to the metaverse and doing the filming in filming in VR. You said filming in VR. So what are the big challenges? If I was going to go do this I would never compete with you because you actually do, you're far more than it. But what are the things that people need to think about? What's different about that as you do?
Well, how many of you, can I have a show of hands, have actually put a headset on and not the roller coaster and not the Samsung kind of thing? Good. Do we have Quest users or higher end than that? Okay, looking back there. And are you guys enjoying the experience or does it make you sick? Sick, okay.
Really enjoy it.
So is Dramamine is good. But if you're not into that, a fan on your face is good also. Don't do any weird stuff where your body is not moving, but the world is going crazy. That'll make you sick as hell. I get sick within 2 or 3 minutes. Once I get sick, it takes me all the rest of the day. I have to sleep, and then the next day I'm okay. So you get to you see the experiences that will mess you up, and you just take the headset off. It's not worth it. I go to all these platforms and talk to the people that are already in there. I watch tons of YouTube videos on the tools that exist for that. And then I go in there and figure out what can I do to make the best experience of filmmaking inside the virtual space. There's Unity and Unreal Engine. They've got cameras that you can actually program so that it can do moves for you and things like that. There's all kinds of very creative ways to capture. The program that a lot of people use is OBS, which is Open Broadcast Studio. It's free, and it runs on Mac and PC, and I think Linux also. So that's a good start. Go look at some videos. If you get bored with a person talking because they're so full of themselves, just go on to the next video. Anybody
we had all our influencers leave before he said all that. Just want to make sure that happened.
I don't want to take
No. I was just joking, but no, that what you're describing is how this art is created, how you generate this art. And what's fascinating about it is the fact that you know what people are looking for. So you're looking for the tools that can present it the best way. And so when you look at what filmmakers are, do you document just experiences through? Do you actually make short films? What sort of product come out of some of your work?
So today, for example, I worked in alt space. A guy presented, what do they call this? The digital twin, which is where they're really upping the game on wireless communication from 5 to 6G, et cetera, and making it a world kind of thing. And so I had myself and another cameraman in Whirl, and I switch between the cameras while that is going on. Then I take the footage and put a front on it, a back on it, and some music, and then it's done. That's why I just got here, because I've been editing and trying to finish that up. But other shows, I'll have up to 3 cameramen. I've had up to 6 cameramen that are in Whirl, and I switch live the show as it's going along. And then that gets pushed out to any platforms such as Twitch, YouTube, et cetera, et cetera.
It's amazing. So in your platform, as you build this, you talked about, what is it, Unreal? I don't play
Unreal
games.
5.
I'm sorry, Unreal 5. So when you look at that, I mean, does that give you an advantage? Is it just like the latest and it's just the smoothest moving? What are the things that people are looking for to really enjoy a metaverse game?
Yeah, so
Or a metaverse in general, because games can be inside of it.
absolutely. So the reason we decided to go with Unreal Engine is twofold. First, the bigger, well-known open world metaverses are Decentraland, Sandbox. They're all being built in Unity. We wanted to be different, so we chose Unreal Engine. Our gamers were more comfortable, and game developers were more comfortable in Unreal Engine. So that was one of the things that led us there. I personally, as a gamer, prefer games built in Unreal Engine, so I'm a little bit biased. But ultimately, we started in Unreal 4.7, and then Epic Games came out and said, "Hey, Unreal 5's coming." So we froze for a little bit. Unreal 5 came out, and we switched over. And some of the really unique things that Unreal brought to
maybe while you're talking about that, the guys, if we can switch to you've been seeing some worlds here. We'll give you an example of what Unreal Engine 5 sort of looks like compared to some of the other game engines, but as you can see on the screens, this is quite a bit. It's almost real.
It's realism art.
Yeah,
it's realism art, and one of the things we're really looking forward to that Unreal 5 is bringing is the ability for a user with a microphone and a webcam to actually emote their avatar while they're talking or singing or whatever the case may be while they're in the metaverse. So as you and I are looking at each other, if I'm talking and I smile, my avatar would do the same thing, so that you get that bit of body language that is missing in your static avatars that are currently the majority of the metaverses that are out there.
All right, so Garnett, question for you. You're a filmmaker. You teach film. You teach filmmakers this craft, and so as you look at work that Carlos is doing at these metaverse and the work that you're doing in it, what are your students? How are you, the people that you work with, the people that you teach? Where are you taking them next as they think about this, or is this a part of that curriculum just yet?
Yeah. Well, for me, as this technology came available, my first reason why I bought a headset was more an Unreal Engine application to shoot live actors in front of those Unreal Engine backgrounds, because they're so realistic. If we wanted to shoot a scene in a desert, we would just call it up, or a subway station, and right away we have digital backgrounds. And the technology became affordable, where those same techniques they were using for TV shows like The Mandalorian, et cetera, became available to us as indie filmmakers. For if you had a good computer with a great graphics card, we could replicate some of those same techniques. But once I got the headset, I started exploring some of these other worlds, like Altspace is where I met Carlos. Maybe not as high resolution type worlds, but they were great for meeting places. And this is where we discovered the communities. If you maybe switch to another, one of the other videos that shows VR chat, I think, those worlds weren't as high resolution as you see Unreal Engine, but they were built for the less powerful headsets like the new Quest 2. So you could create a beautiful experience. And I guess the takeaway for those of you who are in NFT collections or communities is you don't have to wait for, on the roadmap for someone to build out a world. The worlds are already there. You can meet with your communities in these spaces. You can watch a movie there or just hang out in a beautiful kind of Zen environment, and it can be a really fun place to do. And for the bees, the goats, we, have a place in alt space where we can just go and hang out. That was the biggest, takeaway for building community is that, and if you don't have a headset, you can have a desktop computer. You can go experience it sort of as a 2D type experience. And that can be still just as fun, being in a super cool place that reflects something. If you want to take people to a super mellow place, you can be in a jungle, you can be in a beach, any place your imagination kind of you want to go there, there's a space for you. Right away, my focus was less on filming, more, there's crowds gathering in these spaces. My kids, they've been playing Roblox for ages, and I kind of never paid attention to maybe put the Roblox video up just for people to see. And it's a very low resolution type game, but Roblox has over 200 million users per month on that platform. And we started to see, for Mofo Goats, we're an entertainment company. We find artists and promote them. When I heard in Roblox, they're having concerts with 10 million viewers in one city, I'm like, I want to bring our artists in front of that audience, right? And I don't know if you can see that video, but the idea of being able to have an entertainer, and we come to Carlos filming those particular experiences, but to do things in those worlds, say a Roblox world, like you can see Million X, or I don't know if this was Little Nas or Million X, but the idea of, a giant avatar and your fans are jumping on your feet or jumping up on your shoulders while you're singing a song, that's like another experience. And when you have access to 10 million fans that want to experience a concert like that, all of a sudden, you've got my attention, right? And that's one of the bigger platforms, which isn't exactly a VR platform, but it's what they would call a meta world, I guess, or a meta platform.
So when you talk about metaverse and you talk about this blend of metaverse and NFT, I mean, what are you doing with yours to really use NFTs inside the metaverse? And then we'll get to some of the other stuff too.
Yeah, so I think it was said earlier today during the game panel. Really a true metaverse is a place where these NFT assets are going to have cross utilization, where bridges are going to occur. So those people who are familiar with Ready Player One, the movie, the book, Oasis, the keys to all of this is cross utilization, cross pollination, and single sign-on capability. So the process for us is looking at if Mofo Goats come and want to be in Vestraverse for their project, however it may be, whether it's having concert locations or movie theaters that VR movies that Carlos is making are being played, or the bees come in and they want to have honey farms around, is those NFTs need to be able to go from the bees to the goats to Carlos's movie theater and be utilized across the board. So simplifying this for a basic start off point, I'll use just some of the stuff that I've seen around here. So like the NFT dog tags, the custom NFT dog tags that are being made. You could put a retail store in into the metaverse. People could buy, upload their NFT, have a custom dog tag made. That avatar is then able to wear that. You get it mailed to you in the real world, so you're wearing yours. Now you can wear it into the Bees Honey Farms, you can wear it to the Mofo Goats concert, you can wear it over to the movie theater, and now you have something that's cross-utilized amongst multiple projects, which will also bring conversation, community building, cross-pollination. Whereas a lot of the metaverses that you're seeing currently, they're singularly focused. And so any money that you spend there, it's the same thing that gets complained about like Fortnite and Call of Duty. People are spending this money, but where can you use it outside of this? So this is the big key that we're looking at. We're going to get into more challenges as we get into bigger things, such as, say, you know, a gun in this game being purchased, being able to be used at this location or this piece. But it is something that the technology is getting there. Coders are getting a lot better, smarter, finding these solutions. And that's kind of what we're doing, is we're focusing on how can we take all of these different projects, all the different NFT projects that are out there, and really bolster the community that are coming together. Think of it, I use this example too. Think like Discord. When you join Discord and you start joining all these communities, it's a single user sign-on, but you have access to all those community servers that you're following and all those communities at once. That's really the ultimate goal that we're trying to shoot for at Vesterverse, is you sign on in one time, and now you can go and do what you want to do with any of the projects that you want or learn about, and get involved in their games, get involved in their projects, their concerts, their movies, their art galleries, their museums, whatever it is they're doing.
Amazing. I mean, this is why, I mean, we're here to really understand it, because we talk about builders building a project. We're talking about now people building inside of other projects that are metaverse, people showing you what's in there and doing that. And that's and even the evolution of where film and experience can take you. So we've talked a lot about onboarding and whatnot, but what I'm really kind of curious now about is, where do you think the potential for metaverse and education, especially around crypto and just the concept, because it seems like it's a bit more emotive. It seems like you can sit and explain to somebody almost like they're really there. Have you noticed a difference in trying to explaining concepts in the metaverse versus just explaining content with just like a video somewhere?
Well, I think when it comes to education, when it's a metaverse, it's gamified, right? It's fun. You get to go in, you get to experience a cool, unique scenery or environment. You get to interact with things. But when you start looking at the education piece of, say, cryptocurrency and tokenomics and even NFTs and their usages, you can build yourself into a situation where someone who knows nothing about the Web3 space, other than, hey, these metaverses are supposed to be really fun games, as long as you remove the roadblock where everything has to be done with cryptocurrency, and you open the door to them using whatever currency that they use in their country, then you can start dipping their toes into cryptocurrency through play to earn, learn to earn, things of that nature, so that they can start experiencing the true version of cryptocurrency and NFTs without all the bad press and media that's out there trying to hold this community down. So that's kind of one of the things we're looking at and focusing on, is we don't want that to be a barrier of entry. We want people to be able to come in and just utilize their credit card like they would at Call of Duty or any other current gaming system, but have the access to cryptocurrency to utilize those cryptocurrencies and help create utility in NFT projects in the metaverse. So that's kind of all a lot of the stuff we talk about in our team meetings.
Yeah, I think education in, if you compare it to like a Zoom call, when you're in a VR world, I've often thought of, liquidity pools are always a hard one to, and so like, what can we do in VR? Do we build some 3D thing? They pull on a lever here and they see the result. So, it does need still teachers who understand the concepts. But the kind of different thing is, in VR, you can be having a conversation with a person, but you're kind of playing a beanbag game or something with them, or shooting basketball hoops while you're talking to them, it does feel more like a conversation in real life. So, if you're talking about the solar system, you're literally looking at Earth and flying through space, looking at the planet instead of just looking at an image of it.
So it's these concepts. I mean, so what you're saying is the potential to explode these concepts to a level where you can really drive home the education. Sort of like, it's not like you take the article on Uniswap and you just put it on a wall and people could read it in VR. It's more like you take the concept and you show it in action and people can understand it from different perspectives.
Well, what I find is people in VR are still saying, what the heck's an NFT, right? They don't get it. Only instead of a 2D goat, they're looking at a 3D goat, and at least it's more, oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah. And I'll say too, I mean, if you really look at education from an overall perspective, we as a society, we as human beings, really, we remember memorable things, right? Experiences are the things we remember the most. I guarantee you most of us could probably tell you a story about an experience that meant really something important to us, but we can't tell you the name of our third grade teacher, right? So those types of situations is what you can create. Like we were talking about with the solar system, to learn about it, you can be flying through it. I think about all the hologram stuff from Star Wars and Star Trek and stuff like that you can utilize to really let someone get hands-on with, say, an atom, to learn what a nucleus is, an electron is, and so on and so forth. And you can create experiences and memories, which will then allow that education, one, to stick, and two, to be something they remember 10 years from now. Because they'll remember that first experience playing with an atom that they would have never gotten in the current society and technology.
That's awesome. So, you have questions? Cynthia, we have a mic for... They're sacrificing a mic for you right out of the gate.
We can share. We don't mind.
So I am just fascinated by metaverse experiences and the metaverse, and as I think about really true conversion, and that's for thinking about our digital lives and our physical lives truly converging. So I do have an Oculus headset. I love my Oculus, but I don't see that ever being actually part of my life, right? I kind of think about it like, remember the bag cell phones where you'd have them in the car and you had to take it out of the bag, and it cost like $1 a minute to talk on the phone. It like was not part of my life. My iPhone, that's part of my life. So my question for you, and I just don't understand like kind of the technical stuff, but as somebody who is a consumer, what can we expect in terms of this true conversion of the physical and the digital? Like what I'm thinking about tonight, what if like Willie Nelson greeted us, but he was like a non-player character or whatever, but we all had on our little glasses. Is that ever going to happen in our lifetime?
Absolutely. So ultimately, the great thing about, the engines, the gaming engines that are being utilized in metaverses, whether it's Unity, whether it's Unreal, whether it's even smaller gaming engines, the ability to go cross-platform to Xbox, PlayStation, computer, VR, mobile app is all there. So building out those bridges to allow a larger section of the population to adopt is going to give you the ability that, hey, while you're sitting at the airport, you don't have your Oculus, but it doesn't mean you can't pull out your iPhone and go run around the metaverse, right? So those capabilities are definitely going to be out there. So you as a consumer, and I'm not a tech person either, so don't ask me how we're going to do it, because it'll go over my head and I'll give you a deer in headlights look. But as a consumer, as a user experience system, that's exactly what we're looking at, is how do you take everyday usage and put it into somebody's life? So instead of you wasting time, say, on a freemium game app while you're at the airport, you can go and play to earn and learn to earn through the metaverse by logging onto the same app. If you use Oculus or you use Quest or you don't use a VR headset at all, like I don't. I have traumatic brain injury. I can't use VR at all. but I still want to have access, and I still want to work with the people that do have VR and talk to people that have VR. So all of those pieces will be there, and it's just a matter of time, right? None of this stuff is going to come overnight, and it's going to take time for the coding to catch up and the gamification to catch up, and the platforms to be lined up so things are working. But yes, as a consumer, it will come where you'll have that ability. You can log in from multiple platforms, multiple locations, and still have access to all of your stuff, whether it be through your crypto wallet, whether it be through a ledger system, if you want to keep it outside of the metaverse. All that stuff is going to be possible. It's just a matter of time. I'm thinking about 3 years, 3 to 5.
All right. All right. You want to add something real quick to that?
So, guys, the fact that you're here, this is the end of the day. It means that you really either avoiding traffic to go home, or you really are interested in this subject. RyanSchultz.com. He has over 150 metaverses that have a description and the links and what it takes to go into those metaverses. He's a librarian from Manitoba University. And if you guys make a note of that, Ryan Schultz, and go check it out, you can do your shopping list and figure out what you would like to look at. You can download, most of the clients are free, and you can go in desktop. $300 buys you the Quest here in the United States. And one of the other things that I failed to mention is that if you go into AltSpace in the morning, you're talking to predominantly people that live in India and on that side of the world, 13 and a half hours difference. If you go in at noon, it's the Europeans that are there, and then in the evening, it's US stuff. So I have friends all over the place, and each platform has its own community, and you just hook in with them through Discord and through the metaverse and just hang out with them. And then you go to the other place and hang out with it for different reasons, the same as you would go to New York for museums and stuff, San Francisco for cable car and all the beautiful things they have, London for the nightlife, Paris for City of Lights, et cetera, et cetera. The thing that is what we're waiting for is the iPhone moment. For those of you that don't know, iPhone came about in 2007. Everybody's got these bloody things now. And once that hits, then boom, VR, or actually XR. For those of you that don't know what XR means, XR is everything that's underneath, such as VR and AI and WebXR, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you.
All right. We have a question here.
Yeah. So, my question was, you said like that. What was his name? Ryan Schultz. Ryan Schultz. He has 150 metaverses at least. Now, what I wanted to know was if there is a way to connect all of those metaverses just one time with one avatar or with one without having to change from one to the next.
You can't go to Mexico without a passport, and they're called gated gardens. So that means that you need to get a password and an email and get it verified to get in. Ultimately, the thing as he was talking about is in Ready Player Me is where you can just go anywhere with one avatar and go into all these different platforms. You're young, it's very possible that you'll get to see that. Maybe not me.
You will get to see it within the next 18 months.
Woohoo! B-Hop!
Vestraverse is building that. You will get to see it in the
Yeehaw.
next 18 months. And that's a guarantee.
All right.
Wait a minute. We maybe have to put a bet on that. We have to take her there.
You have a question? No, we got.
They got my.
Look at that.
Carlos is on it, man.
I know. It's like it was almost as instinctual.
So I guess my question is, I love VR and the possibilities of VR. One thing I don't think is talked about enough in the space, and I think it's a market that'll actually be here and everyone will adopt first, is AR. what is some of the AR things and possibilities that you guys think or believe in? And the reason I say that is, we could go down these stairs right now and walk outside, and there can be graffiti on the wall that's an AR, but you can't actually see, and you can do whatever you want with that art behind it, and not have to be necessarily fully immersed like VR. So I guess just my question is, what do you guys think about AR compared to VR? And yeah.
It's I personally, just again because I can't use VR because of my issues, my disability, but I love AR. As a matter of fact, one of the things that is being talked about with a project that we're working with is taking AR capabilities to train athletes. The example that the project likes to say is, hey, you want to be a linebacker and you want to work your way through college and into the NFL. What better way to learn how to be a linebacker than to get with Mike Singletary Jr., Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Famer, and learn about being a linebacker from him. And they want to do that through an AR system so that you can literally just wear glasses, because there's technology out there for AR glasses. You just put on a pair of glasses, and now there's Mike Singletary teaching you drills right there in front of you in your own home. So AR is definitely something that a lot of people are looking at. I love AR personally, and I'm looking forward to how other people define ways of using it and bringing it into the home.
Yeah, I'd say you can have AR app right on your phone that, for us NFT community can be, again, I just bought an NFT. It's a 3D avatar, rather than here's a picture of my goat or here's a photo of it. It's like you've got a 3D, goat that's kind of locked onto the floor there. You can walk around it, look at it. And the idea of a virtual toy box, I've got my goat, you got your goat. We put them in a room together and we can watch them fight on the floor, wrestle with each other or something like that. So those experiences can be kind of fun too, watching virtual avatars through your iPhone, battle it out. I'll show you guys after I can show you. I've got my favorite Battlestar Galactica ship. Find a big enough space, you can just pop it into the room out there, and you can look around your favorite spaceship or movie star, whatever.
Jurassic Park is
athlete.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park with the dinosaurs. All of a sudden, you got
I've got a raptor. Yeah.
All right. So with that, look, this has been an incredible panel, and you've been an incredible audience. So I want to, I think we went a bit over where, yeah, exactly. He doesn't, he just, but I want to make sure I would respect everyone's time. But thank you so very much for, working through all of this incredible information. Carlos, Corey, Garnett, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Vincent.
And I just think that it's and for the record, I've been trying not to look out of one eye at this stuff moving and not like have vertigo. But I think that what we're learning here is that there is something for all of us to know about where this world is going. We talk about NFTs, we talk about regulation, we talk about these metaverse, alternative reality, filming in it. Watch these spaces. Watch this stuff, because if you don't, it's just going to pass you by. And if you can find a way to take advantage of it, enjoy it, even get more entertainment out of it, please do. And these great gentlemen are going to be available to answer any questions afterwards. Thank you so much. And
appreciate you, Vince. Appreciate the bees.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And come hang out. Every week, Carlos and I are in Alt Space Monday nights, Wednesday nights. Come be with us in the Metaverse. We are there.
And I have it. It's amazing. So I recommend it highly. Thank you.
All right, one big round of applause. What a great presentation and some awesome stuff coming our way.